Family, listen, we are back with more Falling in Reverse. We're going to be looking at the trilogy. And look, somebody requested this via Patreon, so thank you very much to the patrons. You guys help keep this channel going. The link to the Patreon, as always, will be in the description below. There will also be a link to the Patreon, which is going to have everything that's vaulted, everything that hasn't come to YouTube yet, or things that YouTube is like blocked or copyright restricted, too strictly, let's say. What can be said about Falling in Reverse that hasn't already been said about like a homemade time bomb? Right? Ronnie, I think, is very sensitive. I think he's very sensitive. I think he's very emotional, and that is not a. I don't mean that as a slight. I think the best musicians are emotional and sensitive. Michael Jackson, Tupac, Eminem, very emotional, hair trigger kind of guys. But also Ronnie kind of brings this sense of nostalgia, where he kind of longs to kind of keep alive a time where we're not all triggered and canceling each other. He talks about cancel culture a lot. And he's, so far remained uncancelable, right? Because he just really puts himself out there and is fairly unapologetic. Oh yeah, please cook. And before we even begin, before we go any further, I like that what I'm hearing doesn't allow me to predict anything about the song. It's like Falling in Reverse is one of those, like this sounds like a techno intro. And sometimes they'll start with like a, heavy guitar riff. Sometimes they'll start with drums. Sometimes they'll start with like a Gregorian chant. It's like angels singing or something like that. You never know exactly what you're getting. And I think that that's really dope.
Motherfucking world in my palm now. Don't tell me to calm down. Striking a magic night in the track while I'm typing a captain's song now. Rap Casanova, we cashing us over in the back of a Rover. Six pack in a backpack and I'm cracking them open. Sitting, I'm trapped in a moment.
Ronnie has to up the game always. He's gonna up the ante and push all the chips in. Rap Casanova with cash in the back of a sofa and then a black and a cracking a six pack and I'm cracking them open. It's like, the lyricism. We see you, buddy. We definitely see you.
In the back of a Rover, six pack in a backpack and I'm cracking them open. Sitting, I'm trapped in a moment. Open your eyes, cause you're never gonna know what connection might be your last. Everybody's always gonna bring up my guts. Well, past that, interest up in my backpack on the NASDAQ with a bad rap. So I'm not ready to change. I'm doing my thing. You're pointing the blame. You know I'm not ready to choose. So don't get confused and stay the hell out of my way. What do you do?
Guys, he brings up his past, pretty often, and he just did it again. It's like people bring up my past and my reputation, and then the chorus says, "I'm not ready to change." Now, I wonder what he's trying to kind of imply by that correlation. Now, I'm gonna keep letting him cook though.
Losing your mind again. Losing my mind again. Through the hardships, living darkness, through the mud and to the marshes. My reputation is tarnished, but regardless, I am awesome. So the gossip from my lockup go colossal. Then I blossom to the boss of this rock stuff, and I'm never gonna stop till the cops come. What I'm really trying to say is say it to my face, and if you won't stay the fuck out my way. Rocking shows, locking low, stop me, no. I'm ripping the news, it's the essence of music. I'm with the fusion of both. I'm not ready to change. I'm doing my thing. You're pointing the blame. You know I'm not ready to choose. So don't get confused and stay the hell out of my way. What do you do? You're losing your mind again.
It's crazy, dude. It's like, it's so consistently the case that Falling in Reverse leaves it all on the table, right? It's like, Ronnie's like, it's almost like I would love to hear his process for writing. We're going to have to get into like a Ronnie interview or something, because maybe he answers the question of like what his writing process is like, because it's like so often he's like, I can rap. I've been writing bars and they're getting good, so I'm going to throw rap in the track. I can scream. I can sing. I can harmonize. The drums need to be crazy. The visuals need to be crazy. And the topic of the song needs to be, all of them need to be equally crazy, right? Leaving everything out there, right? And I mean, I think that's kind of a result of what he's been through. He's like, look,
tried to seize every opportunity as it came to me because I believed it might stop the sky from falling down one more day.
That's actually crazy. You know, I think, I don't know if there's ever been a generation where they didn't believe that the world would come to end in their lifetime. Maybe there has been. But for us, it's like we are so consumer driven that, and you know, evolutionary pressure has gotten so low because, I mean, we have like freaking air conditioning now, insulation against the weather, and we now have time to contemplate the stars, to contemplate our destinies. And so now, you know, we have the ability to think like, wow, you know, are things coming to an end? We have so much news pouring in from every direction that I think that maybe that's where that anxiety that the world is going to end comes from. But it also answers the question that I just asked about Ronnie. And I was like, why does he leave everything on the table with every track? And I think that still is kind of bubbling up from his boyhood. Like, yo, if I leave everything on the table, I've at least done my part to kind of stop the world from ending, right? Which is kind of this tick that he's always had.
As it came to me because I believed it might stop the sky from falling down one more day.
Right.
But the older I got, the more I realized that I cannot save the world. I'm not a superhero. I'm not perfect. I'm just me. A human being. So let's take the road and break the cycle.
Ronnie, Ronnie, I'm not going to, you know, let your freak flag fly, buddy. But, you know, relax a little bit. Relax. Guys, I'm looking at that image of Ronnie, you know, kind of floating into the heavens, and his eyes, you know, kind of have this light emanating from them. And he's done that in so many different videos now that I wonder if that has anything to do with his worldview philosophy. Like, he has this idea that there's something shining inside of him, which is threatening to kind of rip him apart if he doesn't let it out. And it kind of burst, like it kind of comes out of his mouth and his eyes and his fingertips sometimes. Like, there's this energy that he has to let loose before it like destroys him, you know. And it showed up so systematically in his videos that I wonder if that's kind of a part of his identity. That beat is tough too. You hear that beat? Directed by Ethan Lader. (2018), huh?
Do I know you?
Yes, you do.
This seems so familiar.
You're in a dream.
Who are you?
I am your reflection. You've been asleep for a very long time.
guys, the drums are going nuts on this one. See how this one sounds completely different than the first one? You wouldn't even necessarily expect that the same band is singing this song, right?
For a very long time.
And there it is again with the light emanating from the eyes and the mouth, right? These big beams of light coming from the inside that have to be released.
I lay awake every night, looking back on my life. Well, apologies to the people I love for the things I've done really make it right. I guess it might. Just then I realized my past is the reason I'm here right now. As a matter of fact, I won't apologize. You bitches always pissed because I am
Those bars were tough, but they have to cause us to think a little bit. I mean, will apologizing to those you hurt in your past make it right? No. But an apology is because on your way to being who you are today, it wasn't your intention to hurt those that you loved. It was an unintended consequence. And so sometimes the apology is just to let them know, look, on my way to getting where I am, which I wouldn't change anything in the past. I just want to let you know my intention was not to do you harm. It was to get to the level I needed to get to, right? Salute.
My past is the reason I'm here right now. As a matter of fact, I won't apologize. You bitches always pissed because I am constantly changing. Think of how far that I've made it from my incarceration. It's amazing, ain't it? But I'm in the zone, I'm a rolling stone. I'm coming home, but I'm not alone. Do I really gotta let another motherfucker know? I won't surrender, surrender. No, I won't let you bring me down. So where the hell do I go from now? I believe when everyone feels so essential, like everyone's out to get me. Who will save my life? I know I believe in anyone. Please don't mind me. I just tell myself sometimes.
Daddy,
Yes, honey?
why did you go to jail?
I'm a lot smarter than you think.
Yeah, sometimes you have to explain the unexplainable to the underdeveloped minds, right? His daughter's like, why did this happen? Why did you do this, right? So my daughter will sometimes ask why my wife and I argued, when we thought she was asleep type of thing. And, we don't yell at each other, but it's like, you can tell when the argument's kind of getting a little bit, and those things are really tough to explain. And there really isn't necessarily an excuse.
I just tell myself sometimes.
But I do have to say that I think a really good answer to those questions when they come from kids is that every piece of life has a lesson to teach us, right? Even something like jail, that has a lesson to teach you.
Daddy,
Yes, honey?
why did you go to jail?
I'm a lot smarter than you think. Everything I did was planned to get you to listen, to get your attention. You post an opinion and it gets me bigger. Are you triggered? Figures, here's the kicker. With every trigger, I'm getting richer from offended, bitter little Twitter bitches all up in my mentions looking for attention because they starved them. If you want to call me the king of the music scene, I got news for you. Got it.
You know what's crazy? As a battle rapper, I've been battle rapping for 15 years. These sound like battle bars. And, he's like when Ronnie really gets into his bag, he's like, yo, when you're triggered, it makes me bigger. He's like, well, were you triggered? Figures. It's like he really knows how to put rhyme structure together. And I appreciate that I'm invited to the table.
All up in my mentions looking for attention because they starved them. If you want to call me the king of the music scene, I got news for you. Got it. Take a second. I respawn like I have a reset button. Hated more than trumpets. Running raggies back to rapping, acting ratchet. Release a cracker, delete your asses. I'm not the rapper, I'm the motherfucking morning. No! I won't surrender, surrender. No! I won't let you bring me down.
Yo, Falling in Reverse is so fire. To have Ronnie up there like rapping his ass off. and then have that come to like this kind of punk rock style hook with the crazy drums and the crazy, you know, it's like, man, bro, it's like, what a unique band. You know, I knew that it was coming up. I'd had to, right? Let me know if, in the comments, please let me know, if you've been to a Falling in Reverse show, what is the crowd like when Ronnie does this? Because sometimes it'll go, and then there's everybody, or it's like, and then they just go into this crazy, wild guitar riff Selah moment, right? Right here. You know, if I could just wake up is a really scary statement. And yes, I'm going to go back, you know, because I want to see kind of that scene in full, whatever we were going into there. But saying if I could just wake up is a terrifying idea. Have you ever been like in a lucid nightmare where you're like, okay, I know that this is a dream? Or maybe it's not a lucid nightmare. Maybe you know that something is going on in reality, but you can't get out of your dream in order to face it. Imagine like your house is burning down with your family in it and you're just trapped in a lucid dream. And you're just like, what do I need to do to get my body to activate, to actually wake up from the dream?
Dad, wake up!
Oh, fuck, what the?
You were having a bad dream.
Where am I? Turn the fucking music off. Who the fuck are you?
I'm your daughter.
Oh, no. You're too old to be my daughter. What year is it?
It's 2033.
Oh, no, it's not. No.
Bro, do you know that, like, I mean, this is a beautiful artistic depiction of a lot of musicians' worst fears. Like 50 Cent talks about this, you know, about Eminem. Like 50 would be with Dre and with, you know, other, and ask Eminem like, yo, we got to go on tour. Let's you, Dre, let's do this one final tour. We'll all make millions. And then Eminem would turn that down because of the fear that he would like come back from tour and like his daughter would be grown, right? And it's like, bro, your daughter's not going to be grown after one tour, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a world tour is like it's a giant commitment, which leads to other commitments and sponsorship deals and contracts and all that stuff. And he just wouldn't do it regardless of the amount of money, right? Because it's a legitimate fear that it's like, yo, after all the dust settles, so much that I would have missed, so much that I would have wished that I was there for. Does that make sense?
No, it's not. Where the fuck do I go from there? Who do I believe? Who do I believe when everyone else always says everyone's out to get me? Will save my life. How do I believe?
Guys, the people on the drum section is going crazy right now. Bro, that was fire. That was better than the first one. And then that last line, tell myself sometimes. Like Ronnie just kind of reminds us he can still sing too. Man, that was dope. Shout out to Ethan Later. Shout out to Ethan Later. I'm wondering if he's the director for most of the Falling in Reverse videos, because these videos have been consistent with what I've seen before, and it's just dope to know that, like, that director name.
Cause everybody's on drugs. Kill yourself. It's not they said to me. I'm already dead, just differently. We say God is real. I disagree. Cause if that were true, then we'd all be free. All be free. Yeah.
You say God is real, I disagree, because if that was true, we would all be free. As a religious man, I would say we are all free. It's just the ego that isn't free, and the ego isn't real. Right? The part of us that isn't free is the side of ourselves that depend on the past and the future for our identity. Right? So it's like I identify as a Republican, I identify as a Democrat, I identify as a, fisherman, a firefighter, a father, a mother, of any of that stuff. Whatever transient thing you lose your identity in, right? That's not real. The only thing that is real is the present. And it's such a tiny, narrow thing that very few people find it. But yeah, if you realize that your ego is an illusion, you are free. You find genuine freedom.
If that were true, then we'd all be free. All be free. Running from something that's killing me, dealing with such an uncomfortable feeling, beginning to feel the hostility from my ability of slowly becoming a villain. I just want to thank all my fans, especially. Without you is a death to me. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I'll be doing it.
Listen, when he shouted out the fans, he shouted out me. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. 100%.
That's killing me, dealing with.
And you know one of the reasons I'm a big fan? He always does difficult rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to rap, if you're Falling in Reverse, if you are a rock star, and he claims rock, you know what I'm saying? Then you don't have to do the difficult rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he always challenges himself to, like, when he starts rapping, he's going to use multisyllabics. He's going to do super, super fast rap. He's going to have layered meanings throughout, right? He's going to really give it every single thing, and I appreciate that. I'm a big Ronnie fan. He brings it to the table.
Then we all be free. All be free. Running from something that's killing me, dealing with such an uncomfortable feeling, beginning to feel the hostility from my ability of slowly becoming a villain. I just want to thank all my fans, especially. Without you is a death to me. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I'll be doing this shit till I'm 70. This is my destiny. This is the best of me. It's an incredible feel on the ground. Letting it go. I'm letting you know. We're killing ourselves on the mountain. Everybody wants some. Everybody gets none from me. Cause everybody's on drugs. The American dream is a killing machine. We're falling in love with a new disease. If it's killing you, then it's murdering me.
When he says everybody's on drugs, now I get it, right? I understand why he's so annoyed by all of the triggering about, the drugs in his past and the problems he got into with drugs. He's like, Everybody's on drugs. Just because your drug of choice isn't something that you shoot up your veins or snort up your nose, right, doesn't mean that you're not also on drugs. Don't you have habits that you continue doing even though you know they're bad for you because they fill some void left in you from your past trauma? That's a drug too, right? It's just your drug of choice. It's like everybody's on drugs, right? The ego needs some kind of drug in order to survive because the ego depends on the past and the future. It's only being present that destroys the ego, right? So yeah, everybody's on drugs. Yo, so he said, save yourself is what I'm telling you, because nobody else has a clue. Last time we did wisdom school here at the Hilliard Library, the topic was the wisdom of children. And a lot of times children, the wisdom that you can get from children, like children play this game, the why game, right? Where they just continue asking why. So, why is the moon bright at night? Well, because of this. Well, why? Because of this. Well, why? And it almost seems like the lesson they're trying to teach in that is that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And the faster you can admit, I don't know, is the faster the game ends, right? So as a practice, you should ask yourself why with respect to the things that you are dogmatic about until you realize that you don't know, and then sit in the peace and quiet of that lack of knowledge. Don't be so anxious to know everything, right? So I like that Ronnie says, nobody deeply has a clue. I agree.
Everybody gets none from me. 'Cause everybody's on drugs. The American crime is a killing machine. We're all falling in love with a new disease. If it's killing you, then it's murdering me. 'Cause you're all getting so hard, you're having so much fun staring down a loaded gun, and you don't see that it's killing you. Everybody is down from the neck up, trying to get to the top, searching for a way out. This is a dying nation, so complacent. Spirits need awaken. What are we waiting for?
Who was that? Who was that? I need to hear him cook again because he's talking.
Everybody is down from the neck up, trying to get to the top, searching for a way out. This is a dying nation, so complacent. Spirits need awaken. What are we waiting for? Die, motherfucker! Die, motherfucker! Die! Cause everybody's on.
Do I know you?
No, not really.
You seem so familiar.
I'm your son.
Oh, my son. I'm sorry I was never there for you.
I'm not here for your apologies. I'm here to thank you. I'm here to thank you for never being there. Because it made me the person I am today. And without that, I don't know where I'd be. So this is my first hello. And this is my last goodbye.
Guys, listen to this. He's saying everybody's on drugs, right? But check out what just happened, right? He has, mom there, and his mom is saying, I was never there for you. And he said, thank you for never being there for me because that made me who I am today. It's the drug, right? That's Ronnie's drug. Not being noticed, not feeling powerful, not feeling seen, and now suddenly he does everything that he can to fill that void, saying, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to be, all eyes on me, right? These giant productions and the screen and the rapping and everything that he puts on the table. He might not have the personality to do that if she hadn't nailed into his head with her absence that he wasn't good enough or he wasn't worth it. Now he's proving his worth by being Ronnie Radke. You see how it's a drug, right?
The American dream is a killing machine. Everybody's on drugs. If it's killing you, it's so fucking life. So much fun staring down a loaded gun, and you don't see that it's killing you. And you don't see that it's killing you. 'Cause everybody's on drugs.
So that's that part is going to haunt my dreams tonight for sure. But you can see how, right? It was her drug addiction, right? Ronnie's mother, whatever drug it was that kept her from fulfilling her biological chore, right? Because we have a biological urge to take care of our offspring, to be there for them. Whatever drug it was for her, whether it was literal drugs or whether it was whatever she was chasing, that drug caused Ronnie's drug, and Ronnie's drug causes his daughter's drug. And, everybody kind of has that thing which is unfulfilled in them, which causes them to be who they are in the situations they find themselves in. Hang on, before we continue. If it's killing you, then it's murdering me. I'm about to start a Through the Bible series for anyone who's interested, right? And it's really my own interest. I've changed so much with respect to how I see the Bible, given who I was before I got married and who I am today. Now that I'm more into non-dual philosophies, I just want to read it again and teach it to those who want to learn about it. But there's this part, where, Adam meets Eve for the first time and he says, you are now flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, saying, you and me are the same. I don't even recognize a difference between you and I when I see you. We're the same thing. We're one. And then after the fall, Cain kills his brother Abel, and Cain says to God, am I my brother's keeper? Right? He's like, there's this separation, right? The thing that was killing Cain was murdering Abel. So when Ronnie says, if it's killing you, then it's murdering me, right? This drug, this unfulfilled thing in you, that's killing you, right? It's killing the authentic you. It's making you somebody who has to reach for all of this other stuff in order to fulfill yourself. That thing that's killing you is murdering me. The thing that was killing Cain murdered his brother through him, right?
Wake up! You're having a bad dream.
It felt so real. It's like I'm losing my mind. It's like I've been there before. I just know it. Wait. Willow? What are you doing? Why are you standing like that? Willow, this isn't funny. Willow! Willow! You've gotta be fucking kidding me!
So my interpretation of the end of that is that it just continues perpetuating, right? That You have to. You're forced to. It's one of the scariest things for a parent. But you have to visit your traumas upon your children. So, I mean, hopefully my wife will soften the blow of my unresolved traumas. And hopefully I'll soften the blow of her unresolved traumas so that we can raise, a decently, capable human being. But Everybody's on Drugs is my favorite Falling in Reverse song. I can finally say that.